Hey guys, 125-3C Men, and we're gonna do another game review, this time on the 3DS newest fighting game, Tekken 3D Prime Edition. So let's just jump into the review already. So yes, this is the newest fighting game, Tekken. It's the 8th in the series, I think. So, yeah. Now you got two options. You could either A, play the Tekken 3D Prime Edition game, or B, watch the Tekken Bloodline movie. It's an okay movie. It's not that bad. Had this CGI, not no live action film adaptation, and it's actually really good, but we wanted to get to the game review. Something you get is card points. That's what you can do to trade in for some cards. Those cards really aren't important, but I'll show it later. So, let's begin with one of the worst things about the game. First things first, look at what modes you got. There's not that many modes in the game, which is kinda sad. I was really expecting more. All you get is a special survival, a versus battle, quick battle practice, Tekken cards, profile, and options. Yes, the game mode is very limited, and that's a big problem about the game. Tekken is a fighting game series based solely on, it's a 3D fighter. You can aim at different parts of the body, like one of your attacks could be aimed at the head, and one could be aimed at the stomach. It's a very simple fighting game. Tekken is a really easy fighting game to learn how to pick up and play. Like I said, you kick by pushing the B button, you punch by... You kick by pushing the B button, you kick by pushing the A button. Then you can also punch with the Y and X buttons. And that's pretty much how a Tekken fighting game goes. For lack of modes, Tekken 3D Prime Edition does excel something that Street Fighter 4 and Dead or Alive Dimensions do. It has a bigger character roster. You got all 41 characters from Tekken 6 in the game, so any character you love to play as in Tekken 6 is in the game. So, let's just get to a fight now. Now, the one thing that Tekken 3D Prime Edition does have going for it is it runs at 60 frames per second. So does Dead or Alive Dimensions in Street Fighter 4, but what it does do better is... Yes, I just turned the 3D on, but as you can tell, after I turn the 3D on, it's still going at its regular 60 frames per second. Yes, this is the only fighting game on the 3DS that can keep going at 60 frames per second while in 3D. And another thing you do is, just like how with Street Fighter 4, you got a bottom screen to do the commands for you. Practice mode, which is something that's really good in this game. One thing that I love about the practice mode in this game is that if you're one of those gamers that have a hard time learning combos like in other fighting games, in practice mode you could look at your combos and you could also choose what you want. One thing I find weird is that the command history, you have to turn it on manually. I don't see why you have to do that, because Dead or Alive Dimensions doesn't do this. Another thing I love is that you could go to the combos, and in practice mode, it'll show you a movie of how to do the combos. So it's a good way of knowing how to do the combos in case you're getting confused on how to do that. This special survival, it's a lot different than quick battle because you got certain conditions you can only do. Like, look right here at the bottom screen. Defeat 5 opponents with 1 health meter. You may obtain new Tekken cards based on the number of opponents defeated. What this means is you have to do a certain condition for these special survivals. Like, let's just say you can only win by comboing them up in the air. So yes, there's a lot of different things you can do in special survival that's a lot different. Like here you're only fighting 1 round, when if you go to quick battle you can fight 2 if you want. So it's nice to see that there's a little variety between Dead or Alive Dimensions and Street Fighters, having certain conditions you want to win a battle. So that's very nice. They forgot to mention that the game has online play, and just like with Dead or Alive Dimensions and Super Street Fighter 4 3D, it depends solely on your connection. So I'm gonna try to show you a quick example of an online match. Good, because there are settings in online matches you can do. You can do a friendly match, which is where you fight people who has the game with your friends. But of course, I don't have any friends who has the game yet, so you can set up how many rounds you want. Like, you can set it up to 5, 4, 3, 2, or even 1 round. I really don't find that helpful. You can also set up what time you want. Now, here's something people I know have gotten confused. It's about characters. Now look down here. When you make your profile, you gotta choose your character, and when you go online, it'll automatically have your profile character. If you want to change characters while online, all you need to do is push the X button at this menu. When you're at this menu during the search options, this is where you have to do to change your characters. Push the X button, and then you'll be able to change characters and not use just your profile characters. This is something I find kind of weird, because most fighting games usually have a character select screen as soon as you get to the fight, which I don't see why this one doesn't. Now, right here at the search options, this is how if you want to find an opponent. So let's just see. Just like Dead or Alive Dimensions, it depends solely on your connection. You can even create your own room if you want. Set up certain rules for a fight if you want. I'm gonna just try to show you a quick battle. Just like Dead or Alive Dimensions, it depends solely on your internet connection. So if you have a good connection, you probably have not that much lag, but like I said, the lag isn't even all that bad. Compared to Smash Bros. Brawl lag, it's really not that bad. So this is an online match. You can choose what rankings you'll fight, and I'm about to get destroyed, aren't I? So yes, like I said, it does lag. Since my connection isn't actually a good one, it will do that on me. Depending on how good of a connection you have, you shouldn't have that much problems. Tekken 3D Prime Edition. While its modes, it does lack a lot of good modes. Its single player isn't that great, right? But if you love fighting games, then you'll love Tekken 3D Prime Edition. It's a good fighting game, really good 3D fighting game. And even though people complain that the fact that you can't customize your character's costumes, I really wouldn't say that's much of a big loss since, considering everything else, it's actually a really good fighting game. If you love the Tekken games, then you definitely really do want to pick this up. Its lack of modes may be annoying, and the fact that it doesn't have a story mode is annoying, but it has online play. The fighting in it is very good, but if you have to choose between Tekken 3D and Dead or Alive Dimensions, I'll say go with Dead or Alive Dimensions, because that's a better fighting game. But Tekken 3D is still a good fighting game, and I'll have to say, even though it does lack modes, it's still one heck of an amazing fighting game. So I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10.